When you think of Elvis Presley, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Hit records? Sure. Lazy weekend movies? Of course. The 68 comeback special? Definitely. But for most of you, we'll bet that the first thing that comes to mind is jumpsuits. Lots of jumpsuits. Like a nonstop parade of Memphis runway flash. So let's get into it. It's our top 5 favorite picks for the best Elvis jumpsuit. It's up next on this episode of the Elvis Impact. And it all starts in just 3, 2, 1, go.
Jumpsuit. Jump, jump, jumpsuit. Everybody say jump, jump.
For my love.
How you doing?
We are back. We are back. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? Hey. I'm good. Welcome to the Elvis Impact. I am one of your hosts, Todd Papes. Let me start. Todd Papes. Yes. And
I am Kathy Lee.
Yes, and we are happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to have a little fun today on this episode. We thought we'd make something a little bit easy, give ourselves a little bit of a mental break. And, or at least, let's put it this way. So we thought. And as it turned out,
this was a toughie.
We had to put a little effort into this.
This is a toughie.
We are going to today rank each of our top 5 Elvis jumpsuits. It's jumpsuit day. 5 jumpsuits. Neither of us know what the other has as their list. We did not reveal this. We are not going to reveal it until right now.
This has been like our big secret this week.
Yeah, it has. And I had to explain what honorable mention means, by the way. So
last week you said something else.
That's true. I did. I do have a point on that.
He's like, this is what we're gonna do. So I planned it the way he explained, and I'm like, this isn't making. So then I went to confirm. He's like, oh no, my bad. So I had to redo things, but that's okay.
Yeah, and we will. So obviously, we're gonna have an honorable mention as well. So, we did not reveal any of this beforehand, so we're gonna work blindly. So this should be fun. Anyway, so without any further ado, we'll get into it here. Now let's let's throw in a little bit of background. Why not? So 69, Elvis goes back out on stage, and in that he goes to the International Hotel. That's his first appearance in 8 years, 9 years, or how does he say? It's my first appearance in 9 years. I appeared dead before, but it's my first live one. Like that's not if that wasn't a dad joke back in the day. I appeared dead before, but it was my first live one. Thank you. Just like that, you know what else? It's just as funny. And who does it best too is the Andy Kaufman version, where he does it. This is Gatorade, and this is supposed to work about 10 times faster than water. So if I leave the stage, don't worry, I'll be right back.
This is Gatorade. They told me backstage it works 10 times faster than water. So if I run off stage in the middle of the show, don't worry, I'll be right back.
So that's just the greatest, man. Anyway, but anyway, Elvis goes back on stage in 69. He wanted to have an outfit that would stand out. Now, the first set of outfits really, I don't think was the very first 1 or 2 outfits. I don't think really were actual jumpsuits.
No, they were like 2-piece suits.
Yeah, it was kind of like a 2-piece, and they were dark. They were not your traditional, how most of them were white. It was not that quite yet. So the first couple were there. He commissioned who? Bill Ballou, correct? You know a little bit about that, don't you? The Bill Ballou story?
Bill Ballou was the main designer of the jumpsuits, and then Jean Dosset was the gentleman who designed all the embroidery.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So. So, and there was a lot of the embroidered stuff in the early days of like the 69 going into 70. And then it kind of returned again back and like made some appearances in like 75, 76, 77, where a lot of those jumpsuits were designed to be more lightweight, whereas the ones in the earlier 70s were the ones with all the the crazy beads and nails and whatever all.
And the fabric was.
The Aloha one was like a white wool gabardine, it was actually an off-white wool gabardine, I think.
It was because off-white looked better under the big lights.
Yeah. So we will. So that's pretty much the story of the jumpsuits. I don't know what else.
Well, and also he wore them because out of convenience he can move.
Yeah.
He didn't have to worry about his suit jacket coming up or bunching or anything, and it gave him this is the movements of the karate.
Yep. So it was patterned, like he said, it was patterned after a karate suit. Was the initial design for all that stuff. But anyway, with again, I was going to say without further ado, but we already did it already. Let's get into it. We got a top 5 Elvis jumpsuits, and here we go. All right, now I'm going to go with you. You start with your number 5. This is Kathy's number 5 pick for her favorite jumpsuit. And what may that be?
My number. Have you looked at these?
Wait, let me get the buzzer ready.
You didn't look when I walked
No,
away.
I have no clue.
Okay.
I didn't see
this has been really, really secretive. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect. But my number 5 is the 1973 orange sunburst.
1973. Now describe that one. I don't know if I've.
It's 3.
Now go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I know. I said describe it, and then I cut her off. What an idiot. Go ahead.
It's 3. So it's 3 or 4 different shades of orange. Some are light, some are the darker, and then there's some. Those are the gems, and then some of the other stones are clear, almost like a mustardy yellow.
Yeah.
And it's one of the sunburst series.
Okay.
But it's
I think I know. I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Inside the cape lining is a beautiful orange, and then the kick pleats.
Okay.
Have the orange. I'm not really an orange person, but something about it, I just keep coming back to it.
Okay.
And this one debuted in Las Vegas of January of 73.
Nice.
And it was last worn March of 74.
Oh, good. See, now I don't know if I have that detail, but good for you. All right. Well, that's cool. Now, just to explain something as well, too. Now, these suits, I don't believe were named during Elvis's time when he was alive. From my understanding, is these suits were all fan named suits. So you might get suits that we might say is a certain name or a certain description, and you might have known it as something else, because I do not believe any of these at all were named during his lifetime.
And then some of the suits were also, they may have a name, but then they also are called nicknamed after the album cover that he wore it on.
Right. Which again kind of lends to the theory of they were named by the fans.
Yes.
At a later time, I think after Elvis passed. So this way people can figure out what they're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
So my number 5 is the 1973 orange sunburst.
So that sounds pretty cool, because now I have to look it up, and then when we watch this back and see what that looks like, because I like those colors, that color scheme.
And again, I'm not an orange
cool.
person, but something about it, I just keep coming back, and I think just the different shades of the orange, because some of them are really dark, they almost look like a topaz.
Yeah.
Is sharp. He looks good in it.
All right. My number 5 is the Gypsy jumpsuit. This is from 1975. This is a black-based jumpsuit. It's got the black suit with the scooped neck, and there are no sleeves on it, but underneath it, Elvis wears the white puffy shirt, the high-collared white puffy shirt to go with it. Now the jumpsuit itself has the traditional high collar, but it's all black with red and blue and gold. Basically what they, I guess, deem like a gypsy kind of design on it.
Okay.
So this was from 1975. Ironically, now you and I have had this conversation before. This suit Elvis wore here in Cleveland at the Richfield Coliseum in 1975, which happened to be the concert that my mom and dad had gone to that they shut me out of, and I didn't get to go. And I don't think I'll never let them.
No, I mean, that you're talking about this, that so many years later, that left a little trauma in your life.
No, it didn't. At the time, no.
He still talks about it.
I do. Actually, at the time, it does. Now, my dad is no longer with us. And one of the main reasons I remember this, too, is because I remember being excited that, when they came home from the show that, I asked, did you take a bunch of pictures? You take pictures? And they're like, oh yeah, we got pictures. So I could not wait until they got the pictures back. Now, of course, back in the day, you had to wait till everything got developed. So, it wasn't like instant or anything like that. I suppose there was probably instant Polaroids maybe back then, but they didn't take those. They had
one of those
the little Kodak
with the
squares, or exactly.
But you went blind.
So I had to wait several weeks for them to get it back. So when they finally got these back, I'm thinking, well, this is gonna be cool, because at the time, like, I was a giant fan of Aloha. Everybody was a fan of that. And, just the white jumpsuit in general. I'd seen, of course, at that point, or I'd known about at that point, maybe he had a couple of different jumpsuits, whatever. And I was excited to see him in a white jumpsuit. And they bring these pictures back, and I'm looking at them like, where's the white jumpsuit? There was no way. He was in this gypsy suit. So, and it was one of the first times on this tour, from my understanding, is when he started to wear. This is the first debut of it, basically. But he had been in town. This was kind of also unique with this particular concert that he wore. Now, this was, I want to say, July 18, 1975. Don't ask me how I know. I just know. But
knows for real. He knows dates like this.
But this was the date that they went to, that my parents went to, that the date that he wore the gypsy outfit in the concert. But he was in town the week prior, which I believe was the 10th. And he was fulfilling two shows. He did the first show on the 10th of July, came back the next week on the 18th. I don't remember the reasoning of why he came back. Maybe it was a makeup show. I don't know what. Maybe it might have, certainly could have been just because there was such popular demand that he was easily able to sell out two shows. But on the earlier show, the one from the 10th that my parents did not go to, he wore one of the white jumpsuits. I maybe want to say it was like the one with the black phoenix on it.
That's a nice one, yeah.
But yeah, this one, he wore this one. I remember getting the pictures. I'm like, what the heck is this?
That's not a jumpsuit.
That's not Elvis. That's not a jumpsuit.
What is he wearing?
I'm like, what is the deal? What's he wearing like this? And anyway, but over the years, I ended up really, really liking this suit.
Okay.
All right.
Now, next to number 4.
Yes.
My number 4 pick is the 1974 Peacock.
The Peacock. Okay. I know that one. Yeah. Yeah.
It was the most expensive one for $10,000.
Yeah.
It has the blue and the teals. Yeah. And then how it wraps around his tush and comes down.
Okay.
I think the colors, the various colors of the blue and the teals, I think
they do look good. Yeah.
They look really, really sharp. Yeah. There's such the detail of the peacock, and then how, the fan of how it comes down, and then it also comes down his other leg.
Yeah.
I just think it's sharp. I like the colors. He looks good on it.
Yeah, that peacock one, I had gone through a phase where that was one of the favorite. This was a long time ago, years ago. I'd gone through a phase where I really liked that a lot. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was really cool. And then, I don't know, it just, and it still does, don't get me wrong, but then it just kind of dropped out of my favorability, I guess, if you will, as far as.
He only wore it in 1974.
Yeah, that's it's funny because you can see some of these suits, they're very distinctive to the time frame that he wore a lot of these because he was very willing to change it up a lot of times.
Well, he's also into the animals, and I think that was his animal spirit.
Well,
see what I did there?
Yeah. You have also too now Graceland, of course, has the peacocks over there over by the piano room off the side to the living room. So, and I think the design is very similar. I don't know if it's the same, but it's certainly very similar to what's on that jumpsuit. So that's pretty cool.
So that is my number 4, the peacock.
Number 4 from 1974. Boom, there you go.
See what he did?
See what I did? All right.
Okay.
So we got my number 4 is the powder blue wheat suit.
Really?
Yes, with the white belt. And this was the one basically from the Madison Square Garden afternoon concert of June 10th of 72. Okay. So this one, and of course, if you've seen the recent, and I say recent within the last, 15 years or whatever it's been, of the Madison Square Garden concert audio that's been remade. They pieced together a bunch of fan footage from there, and they basically put it into a whole video show of that particular concert from that afternoon. Well, he comes out in this thing, and he's got, of course, it's like a powder blue. It looks more like a dark powder blue. I don't know if that's true or not, or if that's just the way the light's hitting it.
Not to be confused with the Tiffany suit, which is the Tiffany blue one.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I do remember that one. But it's. I think the design is kind of up here around the chest area for the most part, and it kind of tapers down, I believe, towards the center. I believe also an exclusive to 1972. I could be wrong on that one, but that is, if you see that suit, it's pretty much what time frame you're kind of looking at. And it looked really good, I think, with the contrasting white belt. I like how the white belt broke up the coloring on it and added to it, and then you top it off. He wore that gold scarf with it to match just some of the trim.
Ooh, that
on
made
there, and it
nice.
just popped. But man, seeing him in this one, that would just kind of took me aback, and I was like, that really looks cool. And he had the white boots also to go with the matching white belt, so that kind of offset that too. I just think it was a top-notch looking suit. That was really cool. Honestly, it probably could have even gone up higher on my list. Because I almost was going to put it up higher. I probably could have. Maybe I even should have. I don't know.
How many times did you change your list this
week?
Did.
You know what? I didn't. I didn't. No, I maybe rearranged a couple of things twice, maybe.
Oh, I was like 4 or 5 times. But I was just like,
no, I wasn't.
This is a rough one for me because there's so many.
Yeah, there were.
And each of them, and then to pick it down to your top 5.
Yeah, that was a
toughie.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. There we go. On to number 3.
My number 3 is the 1974 Aztec sundial.
Hell no.
I like it. I like it. I think it. So it was 1974, the Aztec sundial. This is one of Jean Dosette's favorites.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The gold, and I agree, I think the gold just lightens him up, and he looks on stage and he's almost like glowing. And if you notice going down the sides of the legs to add detail, and with the Aztec look, the design, Jean was from New York City.
Yeah.
And if you look at the bottom by the kick pleats coming up, the way the design is, it is his tribute to the Chrysler Building.
What?
You're right. So
where'd you hear this?
From Jean Dosette.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So he was always interested in the Indian Aztec, cultures.
Yeah.
He's from New York City. And so when he was putting this suit together, just the Chrysler Building was just always in his brain, you know, always in his mind, and he incorporated it. So when you look at the leg coming up, you'll see the Chrysler building, but it's in the gold, you know, it just looks
the gold embroidery or whatever that's on there. Really? Wow, that's crazy. I never would have known that.
It debuted in Tahoe in 1974, and the last time he wore it was in 77.
Correct.
Because this was the one he kept coming back to. It had the most flexibility, and it was able to be let out a couple times due to the changes in Elvis. Some people don't think the sundial suit is worthy. I think it does. Okay. I just think, again, he comes out and you see this gold. I think it's powerful. It lifts him.
See, I don't get that.
I do.
I don't get that from.
That's why it's my number 3.
See, let me actually preface one thing. Now, all the suits are awesome. Don't get me wrong, because I think, you know, the two guys who put those together, Bill Ballou, Gene Doucette, phenomenal work. Yes. I mean, it's just like the artwork alone of those suits.
And the detail. Yes.
When you go to Graceland and you see all these things all around, you know, hanging up on display and stuff like that, it's just unbelievable. So I feel bad saying I don't like the suit in that respect. I think for me, the main reason why I don't like the suit is twofold. One is because it was the last suit that he wore at the end of his career, at the end when, you know, he wasn't really, I don't think, at his best. Obviously, I think we can all pretty much admit that. And two, I don't think that's the suit you want to try to go to with that shape in the look that he was in at that point. And for whatever reason, all I can think of is the last concert series, you know, the last television special. And for whatever reason, it just doesn't sit right with me. It just makes me uneasy. You know that the end is near, and I don't know. I think that's the main reason why I don't like that.
Probably because you have a memory tied to it.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, and I'm not a giant fan of the coloring. I mean, I think it is cool. I like ones that have a little bit more pop, a little bit more color in them, other than it seems a little monotone to me, but that's me. I don't know. It's just, I think that has to be what I think is my biggest thing to it. Is
well, next time you're looking at the photos, look at the pant legs.
I'm going to have to now, because that's pretty intriguing. That's crazy. All right. My number 3 is the 1972 Comet Adonis suit.
Okay.
Now that is a pretty cool suit. In fact,
that's cool.
Yeah. In fact, one of the suits that we were going to craft, or I was going to craft, was going to be that. I actually had the material and the stones and everything for it.
Wow. I did not know that.
We were going to work on that, and then that never became
a lot of detail.
Well, yeah, but it was a little bit more on the simpler side, I thought, because it was, now this one, of course, you have, I think, the grommets, if I'm not mistaken. And then from the grommets, I think, was the spray of the comets coming out on either side. It's a white suit, of course, with the collar. It's a full jumpsuit. But it was with the gold, grommets, and I think it had like a gold inlet inside the grommets. It's unknown if there was an actual belt that went with it, because usually when he wore the International Hotel gold belt that he got as an award for being their best-selling artist, and that, I thought, just set it off to another level with that belt. And again, it was 72. He was looking pretty good. Yeah. It just, he did also he wore it on one of the Madison Square Garden. I believe that one also, I think it came with a cape as well, if I'm not mistaken, which is another thing that just set it off to another level too. So yeah.
Okay. My number 2.
Number 2.
My number 2 is the 1973 Arabian kitchen sink. The 1973 Arabian
kitchen.
Quote, the kitchen
I think
sink.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. You know what? Actually, I think I had that on my list as a possibility when I went through that. Yeah, because it's why is it called the kitchen sink? Because it's got like all the different colors in it or something?
Because they were in a rush to put together a jumpsuit and a pattern and a theme, and they were rushed. And so Gene went through everything he had, every drawer, every box, everything he had. He used every gem, grommet, nail, everything he had. So that's why you have all those multicolors.
Okay.
And all the activity going on.
No, we're talking about, this is not an embroidered suit, right? This is a jeweled suit.
This is all jeweled.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about, yeah.
And I'm just fascinated by the multicolors.
Yeah.
And the story behind it.
The story of how he just had to piece it together.
Sink.
Yeah.
I love the story, and it has the red kick pleats, the red line kick pleats.
And it's got. Oh, I'm so sorry.
And
Go
then
ahead.
even all the gemstones and everything, and the nails coming down his arms.
Okay, yeah.
I just think, even though for being in a rush and they probably putting it together, it came out really nice. I remember watching and listening to one of the things with Gene. You know, I think he was surprised he was able to pull it off. And the good thing, after he cleaned out everything he had, he was able to go shopping and buy all new.
Nice.
All new supplies. I just like it.
It is pretty cool. Yeah.
It's cool.
When again, I like it because it's got that extra color to it. So
yeah, I think the
gives
multicolors.
a little bit extra pop.
So that's my number 2.
Yeah, nice. That's a good one. I like that too. All right. My number 2 is from 1971. The blue snowflake, or what they call it, it was like a dark blue, sometimes the dark blue nail suit. So this is another full white jumpsuit, collar, everything. On it has the dark blue fabric that is surrounded by a nail set that is patterned into almost like a snowflake. And there's like one here, there's equal on each side. I think there's about 3 on each side. And then from there, they've got smaller versions going down the sleeves. Same thing going down the pant leg or whatever like that. And then the belt itself also white, but it's got the whole belt is crafted as like a snowflake kind of thing too, where again, it almost looks like, you would either looks like maybe you could almost look like call it a starburst, or it could look like maybe I think sometimes it could even be mistaken for one of the fireworks suits, where it looks like it's got the dark blue in the center, is like the flash, if you will, and then the nail set around it just bursts out like that, and you can see it because then I think it's got smaller pieces of nail around there. Then there's some pointy ones going around on the outside, and it basically kind of, if you look at it close enough, it kind of looks like a snowflake, if you will. But yeah, I just thought that was cool. There was another one that I would have liked to have gotten to do as well too. That was on my list. I could probably maybe flip flop this one with the Comet, because I really like the Comet, and I think maybe at the time that might have been one of the extra changes I might have made. So this maybe could have been my 3. The Comet could have been my 2. I think. Okay. I think the contrast of the darker blue on it. I don't think it was black. I think it was a dark blue. I might be wrong, but it was. I think the contrast of that, along with the white suit, just kind of gives just a little extra pop. Just kind of a cool suit. So yeah, that's my number 2. So now, with that, now before we get to our number 1s, we do have an honorable mention, as we said earlier in the show. So I think we want to go to that, and the honorable mention, as I re-explained it a week after I initially explained it, because Kathy's like, well, how are we doing? I'm like, and I gave up. I don't even remember what kind of lame answer I gave, but I misunderstood how we wanted to do. I know what it was. I said it's basically, it could have been your number one, but then it wasn't. So you had to, it was going to be number two. It was almost like a 1.5, but that's not really what an honorable mention is. An honorable mention is basically you have your top 5 in our case here. It could have fit in the top 5. You would have liked it in your top 5, but the top 5 you chose were better. Or, you could have easily put it in if the list was longer and more than 5. You could have put it in, if it was a top 10, for example, you could have easily worked it in. So it's like our
5.5.
Yeah, something like that, if you will.
Okay. So what do you got? My honorable mention
is, drum roll please,
is the 1972 Dark Blue, the Owl.
Dark Blue, the Owl. Yeah, you like that? Yeah. Yes. No, I mean, I do too. That's cool.
Because in some lights, it looks like blue, dark blue. Yeah. Sometimes in the museum, it looks like it's purple.
It's Elvis on tour. He's on that one.
Yes, he wore it in 1972 on Elvis on tour. I just like the color. It has the round open grommets. It has silver, silver stars. The cape is lined with silver.
Yeah.
He only wore it 3 times, and it was on.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And then if you look at the back of the cape,
yeah,
the detail of the silver stars,
yeah,
that's they're meticulously spaced out.
Yeah,
the design, that's my honorable.
Yeah, that's a cool one. And you know what's funny? Like in Elvis on tour, I don't know if he did it on the other times that he wore it, but Elvis on tour, he actually wore black boots with that suit.
Sharp.
There was not it was not white boots in Elvis on tour.
And then on the belt buckle,
yeah, it had the owl.
Yeah.
In fact, it was the joke when he was singing one of the songs. I think it was Funny When Time Slip Away or something like that. I think it was an Elvis on tour. And then he goes to sing the song, and he just kind of made a move, and he kind of tugged at that area around the owl.
And it went, hoo-hoo.
Good one.
I know. Hey-o!
But anyway, but it it was kind of to your point a little bit. It kind of was like a risque looking move, and he stopped in the middle of the song and he points to it and he goes, "This is an owl," just to kind of clarify what he just kind of motioned towards. So, and I don't think really anybody got it, although I did. So when you watch that clip,
I will be looking for that clip.
You will see him do that in that clip. I don't know if it's an outtake of Elvis on tour. I don't think so. I think it's part of the actual movie.
I just really like the suit.
Yeah,
and I have to give it the honorable.
Yeah, that's a cool suit. I do like that too. I remember, again, it was one of those, if you're going to do a dark suit, I thought that would be a nice, that's a nice looking suit. I think
it's a really sharp blue.
Yeah. My honorable mention.
Okay.
Now this is probably going to blow a lot of people away, but I don't know what it is. There is something about this suit that I thought was really, really cool. And yet it's pretty simplistic. From 1972 again, as you see, again, I have this pattern with 72, 71. The white two-piece suit, not jumpsuit, the two-piece suit, white two-piece suit with the blue flaps on the jacket for the pockets, with the colorful dress shirts that he would wear underneath it. They weren't actually part of a suit. It was a separate colorful shirt that he would wear underneath. And it was like a dinner jacket. It had like denim blue flaps on the pockets. Mm-hmm. And then it was just solid white top and a solid white bottom. And then he just picked whatever belt he wore with it.
Some of those suits were sharp.
Well, and it could almost be mistaken for a street suit. He could have easily worn this as a street suit. But and a lot of times he would wear this thing, it would come out, and he'd wear it as the jacket, come out for the first few songs or whatever like that, wear the whole thing. He'd have a scarf on, of course, with it. He'd have the colorful shirt underneath it. Usually it was one of the puffy shirts. A lot of times it might have been with it's not really a royal blue, but it's like a shocking blue shirt that he wore underneath it. But I just thought those were just, for as simplistic as they were, I just thought they were so cool. And then what would usually happen is, he'd start the show, and then as the show went on, he would actually take off the jacket, and then it would just be in just a regular shirt like he would wear on the street, along with the white pants, the white boots, the whatever belt he was wearing, and probably whatever gun he had tucked in his boot, but or two. But again, I think part of it lends for me to the era. He looked really good in that at that time, and it just kind of made it pop. All right, so now we are at our number one. This is what we think is our most favorite jumpsuit of all time, if you will. And without any further hesitation.
The 1973
Yes.
Aloha.
The 1973 Aloha.
American
yes.
Eagle Aloha.
Yeah. All right.
That's my number one.
That is a number one for Kathy.
It's just Elvis showing his patriotism. It was an international concert. He was representing the United States, sharing himself with the world.
Yep.
The detail of the American Eagle.
Yep.
The detail of the cape.
Yep.
The stories behind the capes.
Yep.
The first cape made was so heavy and long that he wore it like he almost lost his balance.
That's crazy. When you told me about that, that just blows me away.
So the second cape was the shorter one.
Yeah.
And that one was weighed like 75 pounds.
Yeah. Then they, if I remember the story right,
because there's three capes.
Yeah, you
the
told
long
me that
one
too,
and then the two shorter ones.
Yeah, one of them I think was flown across like at last minute in first class, if I'm not mistaken.
Because he gave one away.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't until the actual show though. Like I think it was probably the shorter replacement one is probably the one you're talking about. I swear I had heard a story.
They had to rush and put it. Yeah,
they had to rush to put it together.
The shorter one.
Also, another crazy fun fact. I think it came from IC Costume was the name of the store. And I believe it was somewhere out of Los Angeles.
Okay.
Because there was a bill I remember seeing for the Aloha jumpsuit. So I'm assuming that the replacement came from the same spot. But I also think I remember seeing or reading about that thing got flown out at last minute because did they discover this between the rehearsal show and the actual Aloha? Is that when they figured this out? Or
right. So the original one was full length.
Okay.
It took like 300 hours to make.
Oh man.
That's like,
can you imagine that?
Month?
Yeah.
That's insane. And during rehearsal when he was going to wear it,
it was just too
heavy.
Yeah.
And like it was actually pulling him backwards.
Wow.
It was just too heavy of a cape.
And that's not even on the rehearsal video at all. So that must have been when he was just getting dressed or about trying to figure out how it's going to go. And they must have had to just nix that and just go to the other one. So luckily he had a second one. You said there was two that were crafted initially. Is that how it went? Okay. So that must be, so the other one.
Then one of them he gave away to an actor.
Oh, Jack Lord.
Yeah.
From Hawaii Five-0.
So,
yeah.
I'm going. I am, like I said, I'm going with the 1973 American Eagle, the Aloha. Also, too, because obviously I have memory of that concert.
Yeah.
And the big, it was a big deal in this house.
Yeah.
You know, Mom got out her cat eye glasses to watch it, so you know it was serious. I enjoyed that concert. He looked so good. That to me, the 68 comeback and the 1973 American Eagle Aloha jumpsuit, that is Elvis.
Yeah, that's
to me. That is my Elvis.
You can't go wrong with it. And truth be told, I had that on my working list for sure. So now this one, it's not, now there's no fanfare with this one because you've got the one of the best, if not the best.
It's either going to be the dragon or the tiger.
No, believe it or not, I don't care for the tiger. I don't like the tiger one.
I like the dragon more than
the dragon
tiger.
for sure. I do like. I like that one.
So it's not the dragon. It's not the tiger.
This one is. It goes back to the one I did. My number 2. This is a white fireworks suit. So basically, again, now this is a white jumpsuit that is just has the bursts of what looks like fireworks coming off of it. The trim is light blue. For whatever reason, I don't know what it is, any of his suits that have a light blue trim on it usually are offset with either the silver nailing or they come offset with like a light blue and maybe a mix of dark blue beading or something like that. I thought initially it was called the snowflake suit, but I could be wrong. And maybe it is. Maybe people also refer to the snowflake suit. And maybe there was actually a snowflake suit that that I'm thinking of. So maybe I have the name wrong. But all I know is it just seems to pop. I don't know why. The belt itself is white as well, but I think there's some trim of blue in it as well. The white, of course, the white boots will go with it. He looks good in it again as usual, and I don't know what it is about the white and the light blue combo for me for his jumpsuits.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. There's a theme.
Yeah, I mean, blue's my favorite color. Light blue is not a favorite color of mine. I like a royal blue is probably my favorite, or a dark blue for sure, or one of those two combos are probably my favorite. As I wear a dark blue shirt today, but anyway, but yeah, I just think that's, I don't know, just that whole combo just really, I think is really cool. So I landed that in my number 1. Again, I probably could have mixed those around. I probably could have moved 1 up to 3, a couple of those in a different order. But I like the different stuff, and I could have easily gone Aloha. I think like you were just talking, but I like if I really, really want to pick something that I think for me is really cool looking, not necessarily Elvis, but something that just looks cool and different or whatever, which I think Elvis is in that regard. I don't know. I just think that's it.
If I have to do an honorable mention plus 2.0.
Sure.
I do like the Phoenixes.
The Phoenixes are cool. I like those too. Yeah.
Like the red one, the red Phoenix.
That one is okay. I like it, but there was a light blue version of it.
See, why you and your light blue? I know there's a black version.
There's a black version. We did that. Of course, that was also famously the New Year's Eve 76/77 in Pittsburgh. There, he had that. He wore that there.
Now, I must admit, I have a handful that I just do not like.
Well, I do too.
And that could be a whole nother episode.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I think we can do that.
Total
yeah,
episode.
I think we can do that just for some fun.
There's
too.
some of them I just.
Yeah, there's definitely some I don't care for as well too, and actually. So I think you bring up a great thing. I think that's another episode we can do down the road.
All in favor, aye.
Yeah, aye. Done. So
that's how we make decisions.
So that's it. So
we have our board meeting of 2.
And you just saw it.
Well, I think this was fun. I'm proud of us that we kept a secret.
Yep.
I put a lot of thought into mine. I had to change mine, like I said, 3, 4, 5 times.
Yeah.
This is a tough one because there's some of them are just
tougher
so
than I
sharp.
Thought. Yeah, it was way tougher than I thought.
Yeah.
I was just going to say it was just.
You're like, I could just crank them out.
Well, that's what I thought. Yeah. I thought, I have a basic idea of ones that I like, and then you start digging through them. Like, I like that one too. I like that one. Oh no, I forgot about that one. So yeah.
He wore them all very well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
and compliments to Bill Ballou.
Yep.
Compliments to Gene Dosette.
Yeah.
The team, the hours that went into them. Yeah. That's what made him the entertainer, the showman that he, and he gave the audience a thrill.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that was part of going to the show too. Part of the show, you wanted to hear the music,
right? But
you wanted to see what was he wearing,
right?
And so compliments to everybody. I know majority of people are deceased, but
Yeah.
I just want to, give them compliments and thank them for dressing the king.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool stuff. So what are your favorite jumpsuits? Let us know down below. I'm sure there'll be a field day of things on that. Those are just, they're fun, man. They're just so fun. I think that's also added to the whole fun and showmanship of Elvis and his shows and just Elvis in general.
And each one told a story.
For sure.
So that left the fans going home.
Yep.
Talking about what he wore.
Well, yeah.
What did he wear?
In anticipation.
Yes. The
yeah,
anticipation and then the afterwards.
Especially those that saw him multiple times, are like, oh, we got to see him in this suit and that suit. That's really cool. So yeah, let us know what your favorite suit was. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, the whole bit. We'd love to have you as part of the community. Again, you can subscribe for free. You can become one of our EIPs. When you do subscribe, we'll give you that moniker to wear for all the rest of eternity. But other than that, that's the wrap on this episode of the Elvis Impact. And until next time, we'll see you on the flip-flop.
Peace.
See ya.